So in this section, we're gonna multiply polynomials, and these are words that you're just gonna see a lot and hear a lot when we multiply. We talk about terms, variables, coefficients, and exponents. So I'm just gonna write an equation, not even an equation, an expression without an equal sign. Let's say I have 3x squared minus 4x plus 6. So when I say term, that's each term is separated by a plus or equal sign. So 3x squared is a term. Negative 4x is a term. Positive 6 is a term. So that's how many separate things we have between the plus or minus signs. A variable is the letter. Those are the unknowns. Usually X, sometimes Y, sometimes you'll see other letters like Z or N, but it's the letter. It's the unknown. Alright, the coefficient is the number next to the variable. So for this example, 3 is a coefficient. It's the number next to x. Negative 4 is a coefficient. It's next to x. And that's it. 6 is not, because there's no variable here. So it's just positive 3 and negative 4. Those are the coefficients. Okay, our last one is an exponent, and that's this little number next to the variable. So that 2 is the exponent. We'll say squared or cubed. Sometimes we'll say to the power of, or the degree. Those are all equivalent to saying exponent. So those are just parts of what we're talking about. Another thing, when we're multiplying polynomials, we really need to be familiar with the rules of adding, subtracting, and multiplying. So think about when I'm adding, say I'm adding like negative 5x plus 7x. If I'm adding those, the only number that changes is the negative 5 plus 7. So my answer would be 2x. If I'm subtracting, say I have negative 5x minus 7x, this is the same thing. I only look at the negative 5 minus 7, which is equal to negative 12, and then I'd still have the x. These are the same rules, but things change when we multiply. If I have negative 5x times 7x, I still multiply the numbers in the front. Negative 5 times 7 is negative 35, but then I add the number of x's. So I'm going to have x squared. So see how the x's changed on the multiply but not the add and subtract? And that is just how many x's you have. So say I'm taking x squared times x to the third. How many x's? Here I have 2, here I have 3. When I put those together, now I have 5. So these are just good rules to be familiar with when you're multiplying polynomials.